All right, and we are live. So, for those of you who are joining today, and for those of you who don't know me, which should be the majority, my name is Yuji. I am a Japanese professional voice actor who's just joined an agency called Moomon from this April. So, and as you can tell, I'm not the typical Japanese. So what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks is I've been having conversations with, there it is, hey Greg, and let's see, so let's see, hey, do you have the, let's see, invite another creator, co-host, and make new friends. So how do I invite you? Or you should, do you already have the link? Let's see. こんにちは。これから、日本語レッスンのライブ配信をしていきます。僕の名前はしずめゆうじと言います。新人声優のしずめゆうじです。これからですね、今入ってい、oh, you don't? Okay. Let me, how do I do this? So let me share it with you. So, here's the link. Share with you. Message. Paste. So Greg, I just sent you the hyperlink on through TikTok. So you should have a direct message from me. And if you don't, is there a way? Do I just add you as a guest? Is that what I do? Guest. For those of you who are waiting, こんにちは、新人声優のしずめゆうじと申します。We are going live today to have some casual Japanese conversations. So, while I'm waiting for my guest, Greg, so just to give you some background, Greg and I, we've been talking through threads. よさくさん、こんにちは。来てくださってありがとうございます。今日は、英語で日本語のレッスンをやります。For those of you who are kind of new to this, so this is me providing some Japanese lessons to people who are interested in learning Japanese. As you can tell, technical issues. Yeah, no worries. So yeah, so just to give some personal background, so my name is Yuji. I am a Japanese professional voice actor. I'm actually fluent in Japanese as well. And I'm currently 45 years old. And let's see, I've been a management consultant for the last 20 years. So, and I just joined a Japanese voice actor agency called Moomon from this April. So long story short, 45 years old, bilingual in Japanese and English, being a management consultant for the last 21 years. Made a huge shift in terms of my career and became a voice actor from this April. And now I'm trying out new stuff to figure out what can I possibly give back to my audiences and have them enjoy my broadcast. Again, once for those, there it is. Invite. So there you are. Hey, Greg.
あ、こんにちは。
こんにちは。こんばんは。
元気ですか？
元気です。グレッグはいかがですか？
いかがですか？
いかがですか meansいかがですか could mean a couple of things, but in this context, since you asked me how I am, and then I asked you グレッグはいかがですか? So that means how
Oh
are
yeah,
you?
yeah. Oh, I'm doing Oh, I got it. とても私は嬉しいです。
嬉しいですか？ありがとう
Yeah,
ございます。
yeah.
僕も、
Oh,
ん
どういたしまして。
うーん good, good.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, so it's been a week. How have you been?
I've been very good lately. Just been honestly just messing with my Nintendo Switch and then
Mm,
just doing the Duolingo and then just rewatching a couple of her videos to kind of refresh myself a little
mm,
bit.
mm-hmm,
That way, like I can kind of like whenever what you showed me last week, like the when you're I don't remember if this was on a video, but whenever you show me like when you're looking at a menu and you're telling the server, hey, I want this, you're like korewa, 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 putting out the items.
mm-hmm.
That and then still trying to master saying the nomi mono. You know,
Onomimono.
I still kind of struggle. Yeah, I just struggle with it because it's kind of weird, kind of combining the M's and the N's and the O's sound together. You know, it's not really done in English so much.
Mm-hmm. Right, right.
But I think I'm getting a little bit closer to it.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So was there anything specific you had in mind in terms of what you wanted to go over today, or did you want to review what we went through last week?
Maybe like review a little bit to kind of make sure I'm saying it right or better
Mm-hmm.
this time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So why don't
Yeah.
we go over what we did last week? Um, so last week we talked about like some casual conversations that you could use or that you may hear when you're at a
Yeah.
restaurant or
Like
any kind of shop. So which starts
like the
with
ira
mhm,
shy, for instance.
mhm. So the first word, so
Yeah.
if you go into a store, and this could be any store, it doesn't necessarily have to be a food place, it could be a any kind of retail store. They greet you saying いらっしゃいませ.
Yeah. Ira shy mase.
いらっしゃいませ.
Ira shy mase.
Right. There's a
Oh,
small uh pause, or there's a small space between the ra and
right.
the sha. So,
Oh, the extended pretty much, right?
right. So if I say it really slowly, it'd be like いらっしゃいませ.
Oh, easy. Ira shy mase.
Right. Now, in a very so that was kind of really slow, but if I was
Yeah.
actually greeting someone at a restaurant, still it'd probably be slower than a typical way. So I'd probably say いらっしゃいませ.
Ira shy mase.
Right. Now you're pretty good at it, and so I think the last part, the mase part, is kind
Yeah.
of where you're kind of a little bit wobbly and kind of in a way. So let's try that
Oh, yeah.
again. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
いらっしゃいませ.
Ira shy mase.
Right. So you don't necessarily need to put a space between the I after いらっしゃい and
Oh, I see.
mase. So that could go straight together. So I would say
Oh, yeah.
いらっしゃいませ together.
Hmm. Ira shy mase.
Right. One more time.
Ira shy mase.
Right. I'm still hearing a little bit of a pause between the I and the mase. So to me, what I'm hearing, it sounds like いらっしゃいませ if I exaggerate
Oh,
it.
I see.
Right.
Okay,
So
I see.
no pause between the I and the mase. So it would go straight like いらっしゃいませ.
Oh, like it's one word pretty much.
Yes.
Okay, that pops up. Irashai mase.
Right. いらっしゃいませ.
Irashai mase.
Right. So yeah, I'm getting close. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much so by the way, if I heard that, then yes, I would understand that you meant welcome. So definitely,
Oh, I see. Yeah.
it's understandable, it's audible. So okay, いらっしゃいませ. And then, so like you go into a store, and let's say this is a so it's a restaurant, and And so in last week, I think we talked about in your situation. So since you work at a bar, if you're greeting someone and if you want to fancy them by speaking Japanese, and you greet them saying "irashaimase," and then the second phrase would be, what would you like for your drink, right? So
Right.
in Japanese, that would be "onomimono wa nani ni nasaimasu ka?"
Yeah. Oh no, no, that's where I struggle. Oh no, mini no wa. Oh no, mini mono wa. And then the other part's gonna be you said nani ni,
There's
and
a
then
couple of ways of saying it. I think I said "nani ni nasaimasu ka," but last week when we talked about, I may have said "nani ni shimasu ka," which is a more simple way. So why don't we go with that? "Onomimono wa nani ni shimasu ka?"
oh no mono mini wa, and then oh no that okay, nani ni maska.
"Nani ni shimasu ka?"
Oh nani ni shi maska.
Right. So let's practice the first part, the drink part, because
Yeah,
onomimono is the drink. Nomimono is drink, and putting a
yeah,
o in the beginning makes it a little bit polite.
yeah.
So onomimono.
Oh no mini nomo.
Close. I think you got the last part a little bit reversed. Let me
Oh okay.
right. Onomimono. I just typed it up. O-N-O
Oh I see.
M-I-M-O-N-O. So it's o no mi mo no.
Oh no mi mo no.
Right. Let's do that again.
Oh okay. Oh no
Onomimono.
mi mono. Oh no mi
Right.
mono.
Right.
Oh okay. Oh no ni mono.
Huh? I think it went backwards.
Oh sorry about that. Oh no mi momo. Oh, no, sorry. Oh mo mi mono. Oh mo
Right.
mi mono. Oh there we go.
Onomimono. Right. So
Oh
let's
no mi
start. Yeah,
mono.
let's do this slowly. And once you get used to it, you can gradually speed it up. But first is about getting it right. So
Yeah.
onomimono.
Oh no mo. Oh no mi mo no.
Right.
Oh no mi mono.
Now, if I were to break up this word into some parts, you know how like um so I studied Latin a little bit, like just 3 weeks in summer school in high school, and what I understand is that there's like a prefix, and you can break down like one word into certain different parts. Um, Now that being said, if I said let's what's a typical word that can be broken down into several parts? Re Okay, well that's not like re-engineering.
Yeah.
There's a re part in the engineer part, right? So there's a re
Yeah.
and
Re.
engineer, and there's the
Oh
ing. So
re-engineer.
right. So that can be broken down into three parts. Now, onomimono actually can be
Oh.
broken down into uh mono. So what I just wrote down, there's the o,
Oh.
and there's the
Oh.
nomi, and there's
No
the
me.
mono. And the reason I,
Mono.
I, I put it like
Oh.
that is if I put it into Chinese characters or kanji,
Yeah.
o, nomi, let's see, mono,
Ooh. Oh no mi mono. Wow.
right? So what I just wrote in Japanese is the o. The first character is the o, and the
Yeah.
second, the kanji and the hiragana. So that's nomi,
No me.
and the last two hiragana mono,
Mono. Oh,
right?
that makes it easy. Yeah. Oh no mi mono.
Right. Now, but
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah,
no mi mono wa. Yeah.
exactly, yes, onomi mono,
Oh no mi mono wa.
right? And the reason, and like when you actually write it in kanji, the middle part, the nomi, means
No me.
means drink in the sense of the verb drink. So drink
Oh
something,
yeah.
drink. And the last part, no mono, means thing. So that's why this means drink something, which means your drink, as in the
Oh I see.
noun
Yeah.
drink. So
Oh I like that. That's kind of
right,
reminds me like the sake one a little bit. Yeah,
mm,
very similar.
So that's why, like, if I write it down, I mean, even though like when we write Japanese characters, we don't put a space in between, so it looks like it's a continuous, it's like one
Yeah,
word. But
yeah.
if I broke it down, this is how it's being broken down into. Now, but when you actually speak it, when you pronounce it, it's one word. So I don't put a space in between. So it goes like onomimono, one word,
Oh no mi mono.
right? Onomimono,
Oh no mi mono.
right?
Oh, okay, I see where I messed up at. That's okay. I see where I'm messing up at. It's between the me and the mo's where I start to struggle. Oh,
Mm,
okay, I see. I see where you're seeing that a little bit. Oh no mi. Okay. Oh no mi mono.
right. Um, Now, without putting us, without stressing the first o,
Yeah.
onomimono,
Oh no mi mono.
right? It's because like what I'm hearing right now is like
Yeah.
there's an accent to the o, as in like oh, kind of. It sounds to me
Oh
like there
okay.
is an oh, but
Yeah.
in this case, the o is shorter than that.
Oh,
So
okay.
onomimono,
Oh no mi mono.
right? Yes,
Ooh. Oh no mi mono. Oh
right,
okay. I see. Or kind of like Atsukari sama, or Ohisashiburi, or like
right.
Osaki no Suma Mirinaru.
Yes.
Ooh.
Let's
Okay.
since you brought that up, I'm gonna type that up just here. Otsukare sama, and I think you said otsumami. Otsumami,
Yeah. Atsukari sama.
yeah, and osake, osake,
Otsumami.
osake no tsumami. Okay, so I just typed that up just in case. Oh, actually, the last one. That's what is it? Autocorrect did something. Um,
Oh yeah. See.
osake no tsumami. Tsumami. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I think I still heard a little bit of a um.
Oh, instead of oh.
Well, the last part, the mono part.
Oh, mono. Yeah.
So there's a slight space in between the nomi and
Nomi.
mono,
Okay.
but it shouldn't there shouldn't be any space, so it should just like be one word. So it's onomi mono.
Oh, nomi mono.
Right, right, right. Close. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so that's the first part. That's the drink, and then you're gonna ask, what would you like? So in Japanese, that would be onomimono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
Oh, nomi mono wa nani shimasu ka?
Right. There's a ni. There's two ni's. So let
Oh, nani
me.
ni.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, nomi mono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
So yeah. Onomimono wa nani ni shimasu ka? So I just typed that up.
Perfect. I'm gonna.
Onomimo.
Perfect. Yeah. Every time you type these up, I screenshot them and I look at them later, and try to
Mm.
paraphrase a little bit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Definitely helps out a lot.
Mm. So because
Okay.
nani means what,
What? Yeah.
right?
So like need. I know that's a particle, but other than that phrase, really, I haven't really seen need quite used yet. If that makes sense. Because I know there's like
Mm.
wa and there's like no, for instance, as particles or like
Mm-hmm,
ga.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Well, nani ni. Well, okay, so we'll think about another sentence and it may come up because it's definitely it's used on an everyday basis.
Oh, I
So
see. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, onomimono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
Oni mon. Yeah. Ono mi moni. Ono mi mono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
Right, right.
Yeah, I see. So oni mi ono mi mono wa nani shimasu ka?
I think you missed one and I. There's supposed to be two ni, but I only heard one.
Oni. Okay. Ono mini mono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
Hmm. I think the first part kind of messed
Yeah, I
up the
probably said.
onomimono. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I said mini instead of mimo for some reason.
Right.
All right. Ono mimono wa. Okay. Ono mimono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
Right. Onomimono wa nani ni
Yeah.
shimasu ka? Yeah.
Yeah. Ono mi. Only. Sorry. I'm gonna hydrate for a sec. Get water.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it's very dry out here. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Ono mimono wa nani ni shimasu ka? Ooh.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what. Okay, I just needed some water. Some mizu.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because yeah, I can understand this. This can be a tongue twister. So
Yeah, and then lately we've been going through that heavy dry weather because it's about to like get into the monsoon season when we get a lot of rain. So like I have to keep drinking water because my throat dries up, which makes it a little harder to pronounce, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Hydration. I mean, me being a voice actor, that's we definitely keep our throat moist and make sure that there's no damage. So
Yeah, because like it, the dry air just gets to it eventually after a certain point. Yeah. Oh no, mimi no. Oh no, mini no. Oh no. Oh no, mini. Oh no, mi mono. Oh no, mi mono wa nani shimasu ka?
that was only one ni.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. Only mi mono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
Right. I think you missed. I think was it the me or mo missed in the first part, the drink part.
Probably me. Oh, I think. Oh no, mi mono wa nani shimasu ka?
That was only one ni.
Oh man. All right. I think I'm gonna get it this time. Only me. No. Okay. Oh no, mi mono wa nani ni shimasu ka?
That's right. Yep. That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep practicing that because what I noticed is that it's like train your brain, and then eventually, like your brain muscles get used to it, and it's like second nature.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, that's exactly like even being Japanese, there are so many tongue twisters that we got to get right, and it's just practice. So yeah,
Oh,
definitely. I hear you. That's definitely the case. It's a muscle.
even with like English, there's like some really weird words out there that I run to, and I'm like, what's going on with this? It's like, but I mean, the best example I can think of is I don't know if you're familiar with the word kernel.
Colonel.
Yeah, but it's spelled like COLO, like NEL or something like that. I probably misspelled it honestly, but that's like a weird one. You would think it'd be spelled like CERNAL, something like that. But there's like another word for kernel for that, like corn kernel or something.
The only colonel that I know is like the one that's used as a title in the army.
Yeah,
So is that the one that you're talking about?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So that's like a good example of an idea of that is like Colonel Sanders from KFC, for instance.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also like another word of kernel, which usually means like a kernel of corn or something like that. But it's spelled like I might be misspelling it. It's like CERNAL. That one's kind of a weird one. And I think there's like even like one with a K in it instead.
There's the one that I know, the other one, kernel, it's kind of used in programming, like in like Android phones, or it's something about their operating system, and I do see the word kernel,
Yes.
but I
Yeah.
don't know the details, but so something techie. That's all I know about.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty correct. Yeah.
Right, right. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So and same thing in Japanese. So there's a lot of different complex words that, even as a voice actor, we have a hard time to get it right. So again, as you mentioned, it's all practice. So practice slowly, and then eventually get it right.
Right. Wakarimasu, I understand.
Wa- wakarimashita is I understood.
Machita.
Right.
Oh, wakarimashita. I
Right.
understood.
Let me
Oh,
write.
even better.
Yeah. Wakari wakarimashita. Wakarimashita. I put it in two words, but it's actually like one. It's one word. Wakarimashita.
Like
So,
all together.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, wakarimashita. Yeah.
Wakarimashita. Right. Okay.
Wakarimashita.
So let's say So you asked the customer, お飲み物は何にしますか?
Yeah.
And the customer says, okay, I want, let's go something, okay, I want a Bloody Mary or I want a gin tonic. Now let's see. Well, that's pretty usual. Well, so there's a situation where you would ask the customer whether they want ice in it or not,
Oh yes,
right?
absolutely.
So ice, as in the ice cubes, ice in Japanese is kori.
Cody.
Kori. Now there's a
Cody. Oh.
there's a O between the K O and R I. So if I spelled it, it's K O
Cody.
O R I, but it's not. Oh wait, that was no. It's
So is it
autocorrect.
kind of like the word okami?
Yes, kind of like the word okami. Yes, so it's two. Well, it's not that long. Okami. There's two O's in the beginning. Let me type that up. Okami. And you're learning hiragana as well, right?
So hiragana is not my struggle. I actually
Okay.
learned all the characters for hiragana.
Right.
Pretty much, I'm at the end of it where where it starts getting into the pa sounds and the po and the pe and the poo. I'm right there. It's mostly my katakana is my worst because I can read some katakana, but a lot of the katakana, in my opinion, looks really super similar.
Right. Yep.
I had to train my mind recently to differentiate she and Sue because they look so close.
Right,
It's
right.
so minor. Oh, especially if it's when someone's so good at their language, they'll do stylized writing of their language. If that makes sense, kind of like changing the font on your computer.
Right.
So if I see stylized Japanese and then there's a she or Sue in there, I'm gonna struggle to
Right.
read that.
Right. No, I get that. Yeah. And especially if you have bad handwriting, it's really difficult to I understand, recognize if that's a tsu or a she. Now, so
Yeah.
yeah. No, I get that. Yeah. No. But
Yeah.
yeah. So going back to the ice cube in Japanese is kori.
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 Right. So it starts with the ko, K-O, ko,
Ko.
and then
Ko.
there's the o, and then
O.
there's the R-I.
No. Kori.
So I would ask if I were going to ask, do you want ice in it? I would say, kori wa iremasu ka?
Kori wa iramasu ka?
Right. So let me write that up. Kori wa iremasu ka? So, 入れます is a polite way of saying 入れる or insert. 入れる is insert or put in.
Yeah. Ooh, that's so easy to say, honestly. Kori wa iremasu ka?
So, 氷は入れますか?
Kori wa iremasu ka?
So, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I feel like my re is not always the best because, for the longest time, I struggled to say the word kied.
Kie.
Yeah. I'm still butchering it, technically speaking, but, yeah. Ireru. Oh, ireru must. Put in. Interesting.
So I just typed in another. 入れます is the polite way of saying 入れる.
Oh, I see. Ireru. Insert put in. Iremasu.
And in this
Iremasu.
case, right?
Yeah.
In this case, we're asking. So I'm putting a ka at the end to ask. So that's why I would say 氷は入れますか?
Kori wa iremasu ka?
That's right. Oh, Takeo-san, thanks for coming. I have a friend joining this. Yeah.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。ね。So, 氷は入れますか?
氷は入れますか?
Right. And then if I'm the customer, I would say if I wanted ice, I'd say, well, so if it's you're really local, I wouldn't say iremasu. Like for example, if you ask in English, do you want ice in it? And I would say I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I would want ice in it. I'd say yes, please, or no thanks, right?
Yeah.
So in the same context, if you're being
Mm.
asked, do you want ice in it? In Japanese, I'd say yes, please. In this case, like if you ask me, 氷は入れますか? Then I would say, はい、お願いします if I wanted it,
Oh, hi. Onegaishimasu.
right?
Yeah, the onegaishimasu I'm familiar with. I know it's used in very particular context or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like one that I learned off this I forgot her name, but I gotta look her up and I can like tell her the name of it later.
Mm-hmm.
But she showed me Okaike onegaishimasu.
Mm-hmm. お会計は
Yeah, check
お会計お
please.
願いします。
Yeah, Okaike onegaishimasu. Yeah, onegaishimasu. Yeah. So yeah, I try to like I've been looking at your videos more. It's interesting because like your format's really good, like hers, for instance. So I'm able to kind of like get like situated and be like, ooh, I can get glued to this and want to learn and write it down, you know. So I've been trying on my spare time a little bit. I've been kind of like up and down with the work, and then just honestly the switch, and then just doing stuff on my own with the Japanese.
Right. Yeah, take your time and get some water. Yeah.
Yeah, just got another sip real quick.
Yeah, no worries. Let me just type up some comments. So for those of you who are watching, so once again, my name is Yuji. I'm a Japanese professional voice actor, and this is me and Greg having some Japanese lessons. If you would like to join as well as a co-host, please do let me know. Please ping it up, and then I'll invite you. Okay. So that was okay. So in the case, okay. So why don't you ask me if I want ice in it?
Okay, so if I were to ask you, I want an ice. I would say, "Kori wa iremasu ka?"
Right. Now that sounded
I think I
like
said
you
"kore wa" for some reason.
right.
Okay, "Kori wa," yeah, "Kori wa iremasu ka?"
That's right. Yep. That
Yeah,
sounds fair. And then I would say, "Hi."
"Hai onegaishimasu."
Right. So you want to
Yeah,
practice that? Hi, onegai shimasu.
"Hai onegaishimasu."
Right. It sounded like um within the onegai
Onegai.
between the yeah the it sounded a little bit short. So, hi, onegai shimasu.
"Hai onegaishimasu."
Yeah. Yep. So that's
Oh, one.
mm,
Okay, I
onegai.
see. One. That's okay. I see. "Hai onegaishimasu."
Right. So because if I were to type that up in Japanese, hi, onegai
"Hai
shimasu.
onegaishimasu."
Hi,
Yeah.
お願いします。お願い
"Hai
します.
onegaishimasu."
Right. お願いします. Or if I didn't want ice, I would say いい
Wouldn't
え.
it be ya or ia or ia?
いや is there's two ways in using it. One is do you like it or not? When you ask do you like something, and if I were to deny it, I'd say いや好きじゃないんだよね. Yeah. Like so it's more about denying what the person said.
I see. That makes
Um
complete
mhm.
sense. So, like, if someone accused you of eating like their cake or something like that, you'd be like, yeah, you know,
um if you're like yeah, if someone ate your cake, and this is kind of like what you see in, for example, in like anime,
yeah,
like someone goes crazy or nuts about it, like oh my god, like how could you, kind of. That's when they say yeah, or like okay, not a good example, but like when there's a pervert on the train and the girl screams, then that's when she say yeah, like stop, kind of. It's a really
yeah.
strong way of saying. So yeah, that's the other way. Like when you're being harassed and you want them to stop, you a really strong say yeah. would be it would be what you hear. Now, in this context, it's more you're being asked whether you want it or not. So it's more of a no. If I didn't, and I want to say something like no, thank you, I'd say いいえ、結構です。
Yeah, kekko desu.
Good, good. Let me write that up. いいえ、結
Kekko.
構
Ooh,
結構です。So that's the Japanese version. And
yeah.
if I were to put that in English,
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
いいえ、autocorrect. いいえ、結構です。いいえ、結構です。And the reason why you want to put the 結構です after the いいえ, because although いいえ itself means no, but it's kind of like English. So you don't want to say just no, you want to say no thank you, right? So
Right.
it's kind of like the similar. I mean, although this 結構 this doesn't mean thank you, but in context wise, it has a similar meaning to it, impression to it.
Yeah.
So just to be polite, if you're asked, do you want ice? And I don't, then I'd say, いえ、結構です.
So
And,
kind of like a no thank you almost pretty much.
exactly, yes.
But
And like
without actually being
sometimes,
like a thank you.
yeah, and I would even say like, いえ、結構です。ありがとうございます. So I would say ありがとうございます just because that person asked. Thank you for asking kind of meaning.
Oh, okay. That makes complete sense right there. Yeah, that adds together honestly.
Yeah, so type it up.
Kind of like let's say if like someone asked me if I asked them if they wanted ice in their drink,
Mhm.
and then like instead of no thank you, they'd probably say like no, I'll pass on this time, pass on it this time, something like that, you know. So kind of like think of it like that a little bit is what you're trying to say, correct, right?
That's right. Happy Toshi, thank you for the rose. Thank you for your gift. Thank
Yeah.
you. ありがとうございます。
Yeah.
ありがとうございます。That means a lot. とても嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。
Yeah.
ありがとうございます。ハートミーもありがとうございます。Thank you. Thank
Oh, there you
you.
go.
ありがとうございま
That's a
す。
nice little notification.
Thank you. 嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。So yeah, so that's why so like if I were at a bar and the bartender asked me, what would you like to drink? And I'd say, whiskey, whiskey ください. And if they ask me, 氷はお入れしますか?氷は入れますか?って聞いたら, and if I didn't want any ice in it, I'd say, いいえ、結構です。ありがとうございます.
Ooh, that was pretty good. Yeah, yeah. So okay, I see. So pretty much like I keep messing up the word pretty much. The kori iremas pretty much, and then like you would reply back yeah, and then kokomas pretty much. I probably said that wrong. Oh no, keikomas.
Uh,
I think I said that incorrectly.
what did you want to say?
I was trying to do like the replay where you say yeah, kekomas.
いいえ、結
No,
構で
keko
す。
des.
結構です。
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
Keko
No
des.
worries
That's
at
what I meant
all.
to say. Yeah.
No worries at all. And I'm sorry I can't read your name. B4N9 underscore BOZZBO M Mark with the flag. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the gift. That really means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, so 結構です. Now, here's where it gets a little bit tricky because 結構です. Let's see. 結構です. Well,
Okay, I see what I got to do now.
結構です basically means no thank you. So, 結構です. 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 Okay, yeah. So it's essentially the same as saying no thank you. 結構です. Yes.
Okay, that's an easy way of saying that.
So that's that. So why don't we go over what we just practiced? So I'll be the customer, and you
Right.
be the bartender. You notice that I'm Japanese, and I open the door and I come in.
You come in. Let's see. All right, I know it's a restaurant, so I'm not trying not to think of Hajime Mashide, but It's not yakuso. You showed me this last week. Oh, irashaimase.
That's right.
Yeah,
Now, okay, when you greet me, you say irashaimase, and
irashaimase.
yep. Now that I think about it, the very very first thing that the person's gonna ask the customer is how many? How many people are you? Like how many are you here alone? You know, is a group of two or three. So
Mm,
they're gonna ask you like how many people, right?
right.
Then so in Japanese, that'd be 何名様ですか?
Nanbe sama desu ka?
Let me write that down. Yes. 何何名様ですか?
Oh, that's easy. Nanbe sama desu ka?
何名様ですか?
Oh, I see. Nanme sama desu ka?
Right.
Oh, that's easy actually. Nanme sama desu ka? Yeah. All
Now
right.
the name, if I wrote it in kanji, the name, nani, name, sama desu ka? So I just wrote it in. There's three kanji characters and three hiragana. Yes, thank you. Or ning. Not yes, that's right. So it could be nan ning. Thank you. Let me write that down as
Nannin.
well.
Okay.
Nan nin. Autocorrect. Nan nin desu ka? Desu ka? Now, the difference between namme sama and nannin is namme sama is, well, a little bit more polite. So if you're going to like a 5-star restaurant, well, that being said, a 5-star restaurant, you probably make reservations so they know how many people you are. But if you're going to a very exquisite, special place, and like you didn't make any reservation, then they would ask you, 何名様ですか? Or like even if you're making a
Hmm.
reservation, if you're making a reservation over the phone, they would ask you how many people. So they would ask you, 何名様ですか?
Nanme sama
Versus,
desu ka?
versus, if this is a very casual diner, $10, $15 per dinner kind of diner, or even less, then the casual way of asking, you go through the door and like they greet you, say, いらっしゃいませ, 何人ですか? Very casual way.
Oh, I see. So okay, that makes okay. I understand that now.
Mm. Now that being said, what I just noticed that like even though I go to a very casual like family type diner place, just to be on the safe side, what I typically do here is that they greet you saying namme sama desu ka instead of nannin, just because, just to be on the safe side. There's some
Yeah.
like weird people like who get mad if they don't feel that they're not treated properly, and it's like, oh, like, why don't you, why aren't you speaking more politely? Kind of, they give some bullshit. So
Oh yeah. No, I definitely understand that because like very common in America as well. Honestly,
mm, mm,
where you have like people that want you to say like hello in a certain way or whatever,
mm.
or they prefer you to know their name right on the spot or something like that. So it's kind of like that,
Right,
like
right,
or
right, right,
yeah, I totally understand that. Like, or I have people like expecting me to remember their drink,
right, right,
and I don't see them for like
right.
months, and then I forget about them.
Natsumi-san, thank
Yes.
you. Natsumi-san, heart me, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you, Natsumi-san, arigatou gozaimasu.
Uh,
Yeah, we have that a lot in Japan. In Japan, we call it customer harassment because the customer is harassing the staff.
I love that. Honestly, that's like perfect. That's
There's a lot of vocabulary, something harassment. Typical being the sexual harassment. What is it? Other power
like physical.
harassment, like when the boss gives some BS to their subordinates. It's called like
Or
power
like a
harassment.
yeah, like an abuse of power, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. So going back to, okay, when you go into the restaurant and they don't you didn't make any reservation, then they'd ask you like how many how big is your group, how many people, and in Japanese they would say 何名様ですか?
Nanme sama desu ka?
Right. and then you say, let's say you're alone. So I would say,
Yeah.
一人です.
Hitori desu.
Right, 一人です. Let me type that up.
Hitori desu. Oh,
一人,
hitori desu.
一人です.
Yeah, hitori is alone. That's right. Yeah,
Right,
hitori.
一人です. 一人です.
And then would that use like the hito kanji in that context?
Yes, if you're for whatever reason, if you're, for example, if you're writing a novel and you're writing this situation, yes, you can use the kanji hitori. Let me type that up as well. Hitori, hitori desu. So that's how it's written. Hitori desu.
Oh, easy. That's easy. Okay. So you put like the line in front of it first, pretty much, and then you put the hito kanji and then like this.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So yes.
That's easy to remember.
Blue hearts. Yeah, one person. Hitori is one person. Yes. Hitori desu. Yes. Hitori desu. Or if you want to say, let's say, two people. Two people. Greg, do you know this?
Two people? Isn't it like futatsu or something like that, or futari?
Close. Yeah. Yes, the latter. Futari desu.
Futari desu. I actually learned it off a song by accident, to be quite honest.
Really?
Yeah, like well, I grew up with an anime called Yu Yu Hakusho, and I've been listening to the music on it because because the music's very catchy and very like kind of easy to listen to. And I noticed they use a lot of like more common words in the songs, so it's been I've been catching on some other ones as well.
Yes. So futari is only used for people, and as Lou Hartz wrote, yes, futatsu is used for things. And honestly, it goes beyond that. It depends on what you're counting. So, for example, it's paper. If you have two pieces of paper, then it's nimai. And if it's two seats, like as in two chairs, it's nikyaku. So there's a lot of different ways of counting stuff. But in this context, at least you're greeted. You're with your partner, so it's two people. Then you'd say 二人です.
二人です.
And yes, Blue Hearts, by the way, yes, this is for free, totally free. 二人です. Okay, so you're greeted, and you and your partner, and you say 二人です. Now, actually, the next thing they would say is, they're gonna take you to the seat, so you're gonna be guided. And let's see. A typical way would see what I would hear is say, こちらへどうぞ, which means this way, please. こちらへどうぞ.
こちらへどうぞ.
Yep. こちら.
Oh, こちらへどうぞ.
I'm typing it up. こちら
Yeah.
へどうぞ. こちらへどうぞ. こちら as in this section, this way, this part. こちらへ as in you're navigating, directing to an area, which is where you use the particle へ, and どうぞ as in like please.
Oh yeah, I've heard dozo before. Not in a minute, because like the first thing that Duolingo taught was dozo hiroshiku, but I was reading not to use that or something like that. That's more like a business thing. I'm correct? Yeah.
Well, like not necessarily business, but yes.
こちらへどうぞ.
こちらへどうぞ.
Oh, こちらへどうぞ. Oh, こちらへどうぞ. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think.
Okay, so I have a question from Blue Hearts. How do you say that in plain form to a friend? And like, so if it's your buddy, someone that's your really good friend, I just say, so let's say your friend is like coming from a far distance, and you're seated at a restaurant, and they don't notice you, so you stand up and say, over here, like kind of like in an over here context, I just say こっちこっちこここっち like right here こっち. That's all I'd say. こっち. All right. ここ right here. I'm right here. ここだよここっちだよ. こっちだよ means like over here. So like for example, let's see. what I remember is like, for example, when my daughter was like very young, when she was like 2 years old, 3 years old, and you know how like kids at that age they're starting to learn how to walk on their own, and they stand up and they start walking. So mommy and daddy are kind of standing a little bit away, and they say, over here, and this way. In that kind of context, in Japanese, that's when we say こっちだよ, like over here, this way, kind of context. Versus,
Oh,
yeah, ここだよ, like it's like right here, ここ. So I could use it like, for example, let's say you lost your glasses. And like, where's my glasses? It's like ここだよ, like right here.
crocodile. So you wouldn't say like a soko desk over there.
So yeah, if it's over there, like あそこ,
A soko, yeah.
あそこ over there. Yes. So yeah, there's definitely different ways of greeting people depending on how well you know them, whether you're good friends or if it's a very first time you meet them. So yeah, in this case, we just said you're the waiter, waitress, and you're greeting your customer and saying こちらへどうぞ. こちらへどうぞ.
どちらへどうぞ.
That's right. こちらへどうぞ. You take them to the seat. You're seated, and you ask what they want to drink. So, Greg, you say,
I would say, onomimono wa, and then afterwards it's gonna be nani shimasu ka?
that's right. That's right. お飲み物は何にしますか?
Oh, whatever you just did, it's stuck in my brain, and I had to think as much as I thought I had to say that you're doing that. Oh man, I'm blown away. I'm sorry. Like, I'm flabbergasted. I'm surprised in a great way. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
I'm flattered. I'm not quite sure
yeah.
what I did though, but
No, you've been breaking it down really well, so it's like starting to stick a lot better the
great.
more I
That's
talk
good
with
to
you.
hear. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's baby steps, right? So I got to take it step by step. But yeah. So and just as you did, so you greeted me and you asked for my drink. Now, so let's say this is a typical diner. So there's probably only like there's only beer, maybe draft beer,
Ooh,
Bud Light, whatnot. So I'm gonna
yeah.
say, let's see. Well, actually, most okay. Let's say there's Diet Coke. So I'm gonna say ダイエットコーク2つお願いします。
Daite koku futatsu oshimasu.
お願いします。
Onegaishimasu. Sorry about that. I don't know why I thought. Yeah, onegaishimasu.
Right,
Diet koku futatsu onegaishimasu.
right. So I didn't say it in like a perfect sentence. Now, if I were to say it in a perfect Japanese sentence, it would be ダイエットコークを2つお願いします. I would put the を in between
Wo.
the first noun, the Diet Coke, and the next, in this case, I said 2つ. There would be
Futatsu.
the particle, the を in it. But even it's like in English, you say 2 Diet Cokes. It's like you wouldn't say 2 cans or 2 glasses of Diet Coke. You'd make it shorter and say just 2 Diet Cokes. So it's kind of like that,
Yeah. Oh, I see. Like, okay, that makes sense. Just
right?
say like you wanted a good beer. Would you say something like ine biru desu ka? Kind of like a asking for recommendation type of deal, or
Right. Okay. So if it's beer, now if it's a draft beer, in Japanese, draft beer is 生ビール.
nama biru.
Let me write that up. Let me type that up. Nama. And
Nama.
you know how like in Japanese almost every letter is comprised of a consonant and a vowel. So even beer isn't beer, it's b
Biru.
b e du,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I just typed up. Nama being the first word, and nama means raw. For some reason, draft beer translated to raw beer in Japanese.
I actually like that a lot. It helps out. I'm a draft beer guy myself personally, so like, raw beer. I like that. I like the sound of that.
Mm. Now
It,
that evolved. Now nowadays, people don't say when you order. I wouldn't even say nama biru. I would just say nama 2つ, 2 draft.
nama
That's
futatsu.
it,
Yeah.
right? and they'd get it. 生2つですね. And they ask me 生2つです. They confirm. Okay, 2 draft beers, correct? That would translate to 生2つですね. They put the ね at the end to ask, but in this case to confirm what they've heard.
Yeah, the ne like yeah that to like des pretty much like ne or like mata ne, for instance, for stuff
Yes.
like that. Correct? Yeah.
生2つですね.
It's like
So
ne pretty much like is it always at the end of a sentence with the ne particle out of curiosity?
Let's see. Um, so I'm leaning towards yes. I can't think of any other. So like for example, like thumbs up in Japanese
Thumbs
would
up.
be いいね. いい
Ine.
ね.
Ine, yeah.
Right. E itself can mean good, but you're putting more well, it's just kind of adding a little bit accent touch to it. So, いいね. それいいね. いいね.
Ine.
いいね.
Ine.
Yes. いいね.
Oh. Yeah. Ine.
いいね.
Oh, yeah, ine.
Or like for example, so it's kind of you in this case the net is used in kind of showing empathy to the other person. So like for example, if I said そうだよね, as in like you totally understand what the other person's saying, and you're having a conversation and the other person's like, I'm so screwed, I'm so tired and like whatnot. I don't know, like I totally get, I hear you. I mean, in that kind of context, I totally get you. I said そうだよね, I totally understand you. And in that sense, when I'm saying そうだよね, it's not only so because so
Yeah.
is understanding or agreeing,
Yeah. I've
acknowledging.
seen something similar to what you're saying.
Mhm.
Cause I was watching I was watching some cutscenes from Kingdom Hearts in the Japanese version, and I
Hmm.
noticed they were saying "Soul Deska," which apparently translates to "that is that so?" Pretty much.
Yes. So, and if in that context, if you ask そうですか, and I would say そうです, and you're so asking, is that so? And I reply saying, indeed, kind of.
Yeah. Ooh, so this. Okay,
So
see.
this,
Easy to remember.
right? So this, but when I say そうですね, it's not. So that's a totally different. Well, actually, wait, hold on. It's not. そうですね. そうですね. Okay, it's agreeing. But like depending on how you say it, it has a slightly different tone. So for example, if you ask me something and I say in a lighter tone, like そうですね, it's very casual, like yep, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's easy to stick with.
そうですね. And so going back to what we talked about, like so like when I would say if I were to say like そうだよね, that's more like showing empathy to the other person. I hear you, bro. I totally get your kind of meaning to it. そうだよね. Dude, I hear you. I'm like kind of that kind of context. そうだよね.
そうだよね.
Ne. So ne, yeah. Yeah, ne is kind of used in that context. Like you not only do you agree, but you also feel that what that person is going through. So like for example, I would use that with my daughter. My daughter would say something, "Oh, man, school was so boring today." So I totally get you. Like,
Yeah.
kind of that.
So for like for the Soul Dayo Ne, is there like a U after like the yo out of curiosity in this case, or
So
like write it down?
when I write it down, Soul Dayo YO.
Oh, just Y-O. Okay.
Let me.
Yeah, because I know
So
some like sounds like they have kind of like a, I wouldn't say a silent U, but it's more like, we're saying like yo or something like that at times. It's kind of like something that has like a U to it, if that makes sense, or kind of like do.
Mm, 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 mm.
Kind of like an example. Yeah.
That so depending on the so okay, that may be a different word, but that being said, typically Japanese the vowels are pronounced the way they're written. So in this case, the so dayone would be I'll write it in hiragana as well.
Yeah.
So dayone. That's 5 hiraganas, and
Yeah.
the yo would be yo. So
Hmm.
yeah, it would be pronounced as yo.
Yeah.
Now,
I think.
if it had another vowel after the yo, that would be that's obviously a different word.
Yeah. Like the I guess what the word that came to mind is like kind of like sayonara, for instance,
Okay. Okay.
because there's like usually you after the yo in that case. If that's kind of like the one I thought about
Right.
right away.
Because that one, there's literally a U after the yo.
Oh, I
When I write
see.
it down, so I just typed it up right now. That's 5 letters. Sa, yo, u, na, la. 5 letters. Now, a little bit tricky. That being said, if I were to pronounce this word by word, literally, it would say sayonara, but that's not. We don't say it in Japanese like that. We'd say
Yeah.
sayonara, as in the u sounds more like o in this case.
Oh.
So even though it's written as if it's sayonara, but in pronunciation it goes sayonara.
Sayonara.
There's the o, which kind of
Yeah.
is extended.
Oh,
So
sayonara.
exactly, yes, yes.
Oh, easy, easy. Yeah. Sayonara.
Ah, Angel さんありがとうございます。if you have any comments or questions, please do let me know. なんか質問とかコメントとかあったらぜひぜひお願いします。I'm doing this online for free, so I'm happy to have any sessions with anybody here. So, さようなら。さようなら。
Sayonara.
Good.
Sayonara.
Sayonara. So, like
Yeah.
for example, at school, when the teacher says goodbye to the children, to the students, they would say, Sayonara. Sayonara.
Sayonara. Sayonara.
Yes. Here's what typically foreigners struggle with when they pronounce words like this, which has a vowel in between the consonant. So typically, what I hear from a lot of foreigners, they'd say sayonara, and the o gets missed.
Oh, yeah. I think like another word I can think that kind of is does that as well is like kuko. I think I'm probably saying that badly. The word for airport, kuko.
Kuko. Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
kuko. Yeah, that's another example. Or like the name Yoko. I thought it was just Yoko. That's
Mm-hmm.
how it's spelled in English, but like it turns out there's a U after the O on both parts of it.
Yes, yes, that's right. So, yes, there like pronunciation wise, there's a vowel. There could be a vowel in it, but when you just hearing it, it may sound like it's getting missed. But so again, like in the case of sayonara, even though it's written as a u, but pronunciation wise, it goes o sayonara.
Oh,
Or in the case of yoko, it's yo u ko. Now that one, it sounds yeah yeah okay you're right. It's not pronunciation wise, it's not u, it's o. So even though it may be written yo u ko, but pronunciation it'll go yoko, as in Yoko.
oh, okay. I see that. Yeah, okay,
Right.
that makes sense.
Okay. So low hearts. Sayonara is only used for final goodbyes. That's not necessarily the case. If you're not seeing that person, um, there's different ways, but definitely sayonara it can be said at the end of the day at school. Now, would I say sayonara at my office, like at a company? Typically in Japan, the way they say farewell within companies is お疲れ様でした. お疲れ様でした。
Ooh, Atsukari, no, Atsukare, Atsukare sama deshita.
That's right. Let me write it
Yeah,
down.
Otsukare sama
お疲れ
deshita.
様でした。This
Otsukare sama
this word
deshita.
is cannot be translated into English directly because otsukare-sama is used in very different ways. Like, so for example, like there's you'd say otsukare-sama when you greet someone at the office. Like when you meet someone at the office, um, I could say otsukare-sama desu, as in you're passing by, you acknowledge the other person. It's kind of like what's up, but more in a business formal way, but not formal that like I wouldn't say otsukare sama to a client. Or would I? Otsukare sama desu. If it's a very if you know that client well, more like you've had meetings and you know each other and you both acknowledge each other, then if you're passing by the hallway, then I'd probably say otsukare sama desu, as in like kind of like hey, hey, what's going on kind of nuance.
Oh,
Um,
okay, kind of like a reverse in that case.
right. But yeah, so low hearts to your point. So sayonara is not necessarily only for final goodbye, because like for example, I guess like in schools, because schools is a place to teach the language. So in elementary school, the sensei, the teacher would say sayonara to the students at elementary school. Well, actually, that's not only elementary school, junior high, high school. Kyo sayonara, sayonara.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was
as
like
in
another one I was taught, but I haven't used it at all personally. It was Jane.
Jane is a very casual way of saying goodbye, and there's also Jane, Jane. Yeah, so it's like it's more friends. Definitely not between teacher and student. Definitely not to your superior, to your bosses. To your subordinate, yes, Jane. So like for example, in at a company, if this was someone junior to me and we were partying, I say, "Oh, Jane, otsukare-sama." So I'd combine the two, Jane and otsukare-sama together.
Oh, I see. Okay, Jane Otsukari sama.
Hmm. So that could be used as well. So there's Jane. Um, but yeah, like sayonara is a little bit. It's not formal, but like once you grow up and you graduate, typical. So definitely in company like workplace environment, the standard word is otsukare-sama. So for some reason, um, there's less situations where you'd use sayonara. But that being said, like if okay, so like if you're going to a relative's place, um, so you grow up, you're working, you're past your 20s, so you're working at a company. So on a daily basis, when you're meeting your coworkers, you greet them and you say goodbye using otsukare-sama. Now let's say at some holiday season, you're meeting your girlfriend's parents who live like on a bullet train ride 2 hours away. You meet them and it's Sunday and you're coming home, and then you'd say sayonara instead of otsukare-sama, because otsukare-sama is more used in a business context. So you probably add something like, I had so much fun, it was nice meeting you and that kind of stuff, but at the end it'd be
Yeah,
sayonara, arigatou gozaimashita, thank you, sayonara kind of way.
I've seen Otsukari sama used in a kind of like a when someone's like kind of like being sarcastic about something. I've seen it used in that way and kind of like I don't know if you ever seen the movie Akira.
Akira, yes.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah, there's like a part where I keep forgetting his name, but like the main character that drives the bike around, I always forget his name for some reason. He's getting it from the guy
Kaneda.
that Canada, yeah. Canada's getting his bike back from that one guy that ends up becoming like Akira pretty much. Like always
Right.
mess up the plot with that. And then he says Otsukari sama when like they kidnap the girl. But he was like saying it in the negative, like a smart alecky way, pretty much. Like
Right. Right. There's a way to make it ironic. So in that kind of context, so it's just a matter of like how you say it. So I don't remember the exact scene, but I'll look it up. And but I'm sure it's being used in a very sarcastic way in that
Yeah,
sense.
like I was like watching it once, like again more recently, just Japanese as opposed to English, and I was like, oh, like I've heard that word before, but it was being used. I was like, oh, that's interesting how he's using that, as a
Hmm.
kind of a like like come on, man, why'd you
Hmm.
do this,
Hmm.
type of
Hmm.
sense.
Hmm. 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 Right. Um, let's see. So what were we talking about? We talked about beer. Okay, beer. And I
Beer, yeah,
said nama. So if you want to order beer, they ask you お飲み物は何にしますか? And you say 生2つ, just two draft beer. 生2つ,
namafutatsu.
for example. And that's pretty much, I think that's like pretty much starters in terms of, if you're dining somewhere, that's kind of like how it starts.
Yeah, that helps me a lot for when I go back to LA because I'm gonna
Mm,
practice again in Little Tokyo
mm, mm, mm.
because I want to like see if anyone remembers me still, and then see like if they've noticed that I've improved by then like a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I went there on kind of a whim pretty much last time. Just wanted to test it out because
yeah.
I Googled, hey, do they speak Japanese over there? And Google didn't have a definitive answer, but I found out for myself that over half of the people over there speak it like in passing at restaurants, going to the
Mm-hmm,
bar and stuff
mm-hmm,
like that,
mm-hmm.
shopping. So yeah, I definitely want to like get my skills up more right there first before I do the Japan trip because I wanted to get like a good amount of Japanese down before I go to Japan, of course, like to go visit.
Yeah, well, there practice makes perfect, and we can go over this again. So,
Oh, thank you
yeah,
so much. I appreciate it.
hey, no worries. Do we want to set up some time for next week as well?
Yeah, so I'm off the same days next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Cool.
Free all day on any of them. Anything
So
that works for you is fine.
then same time would work. So that's your Thursday 10 p.m. and my Friday 2 p.m.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay. Awesome. Any any other questions?
For now, no. I'm gonna
Yeah.
try to come up with some more by the next time.
Yep.
Well, actually, there is one quick question because I want to keep you up forever. But
Hmm?
let's say like I was like walking around the streets and then I'm looking for like a brewery, right?
Hmm?
Would I ask someone, hey, would I be like Inebito? Would I be Inebito? No, Inebito wa doko desu ka?
You're looking for a building?
No, I was trying to say Inebiru wa doko desu ka? Like trying to find where a good beer that because like Ine means
Ah,
beer, right?
right.
Ine, yeah.
Okay, okay. Okay. So in that context, you'd want to use the word oishi. Oishi.
Oishi.
Oishi is only it
Oh,
means delicious. So in this case, if you're asking for like a good beer or a good, I don't know, sushi or whatever, that good would be oishi. So
oh,
美味しいビールどこにありますか?
Oishi biru done arimasu ka?
どこにありますか? Doko as in where,
Oh, doko.
right?
Like so,
おいしい
biru.
美味しい
Oishi biru.
ビール。ドリンクブレンドはどこにありますか? Okay. 美味しいビールはどこにありますか? 美味しいビールはどこにありますか?
Oishi biru wa doko ni arimasu ka?
Or the more casual way would be うまい. うまい is kind of Sapporo.
Umai.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
Sapporo ビールね. Yes.
Yeah.
Sapporo ビール is awesome. Sapporo うまいビールはどこにありますか? So I just typed in another one. Oh wait, sorry. That's a typo. That's autocorrect doing its thing. Umai. Yeah. There. It should read umai instead of umami, what I wrote. So umai is it's the same meaning in terms of delicious. Oishi is let's see. umai is more casual. Casual. So if you want to be polite, you would use oishii instead of umai. Umai is kind of if you're with a friend, a casual friend, and you had a good burger or something, and like, oh, umai, that's so good, umai. Or like
there we go.
You have the beer, and like, you drink the beer. Umai, kind of.
Yeah, that makes that actually works out. That makes sense for me.
Right. Now, okay, this may sound sexist, but what I do hear though, girls would typically shy away from umai and use oishii more. It's not a feminine word, but again, it's a little bit more polite. So some may consider umai being a rough way, a little bit rough,
very boorish
expression. I mean, it's not. There's no bad meaning or anything, but just the general impression is that oishii is a little bit more polite than umai. So to be on the safe side, you may say oishii. But if it's just with your buddies hanging out, then yeah, no problem with umai.
Alrighty, that makes sense. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's more of a cultural nuance. So yeah, it's definitely not easy to get right, like when you're not living in the place. But that's kind of like this differences in terms of nuance. Yeah. Alrighty. So why don't we do this next week? We can go over for what we talked about. So you could do the bartender, I could be the customer, or we can swap turns, and I could be the bartender, and you can come in and I can greet you. We can go beyond that. We can like order food, or we can have random conversations about you wandering in the city and you're asking for a good beer, anything like that. But yeah, yeah, let's try it out.
Sounds really good to me. Yeah,
cool.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. For those of you who've been watching, thanks for watching this live session. I did have some questions, and yes, so I'm doing this for free. Once again, my name is Yuji Shizume. I'm a native Japanese, 45 years old, native Japanese, bilingual in English and Japanese. I am a professional voice actor, so my Japanese is obviously native as well. I'm doing these online Japanese sessions, and I'm also doing English sessions. So 英会話もやってます. I'm doing English session as well for free on TikTok Live. So if you're interested, feel free to DM me, contact me, and I'm also on Instagram, X, Facebook, so on Threads as well. Any questions, any comments, inquiries, do let me know. Alrighty, Greg. So I'll see you next week then.
またね. See you around.
またね。お疲れ様でした。お疲れ様。
お疲れ様。
お疲れ様。はい、じゃあおやすみなさい。
おやすみなさい。
はい。皆さんありがとうございます。Thank you all. See you. チャチャオ。バイバイ。ありがとうございます。